Okay, good morning to everybody. Today is the first lecture on computer fundamentals, introduction to computers. Introduction to computers. Now, in this from this course, actually the objectives,
স্যার
the
স্যার
chapters
কথা
will be
স্যার আপনার ভয়েসটা দুইবার আসতেছে
from this chapter. The objectives will be define the term computer and discuss the four basic computer operations: input, processing, output, and data storage. And we will define data and information, identify the differences among desktop computer, notebook computers, and mobile devices, explain the primary components of the computer and their uses. We have to describe the uses of hard disk, flash memory, optical disks, and other storage media. Number 6, discuss the computer software and explain the differences between system software and application software. In number 7, we are able to identify several types of application software, discuss the internet and the world wide web, and describe various types of internet and network attacks, how to protect against them, explain how to purchase computer and mobile devices. Okay, first of all, what is computer? The word computer comes from the word compute, which means to calculate. Thereby, a computer is an electronic device that can perform arithmetic operations at high speed. So a computer is also called a data processor because it can store, process, and retrieve data whenever we desire. Okay. So computer, the definition of computer can be said as like this. So computer are everywhere at work. Computer are everywhere at work, at a school, and at home. We are using everywhere actually. In previous lecture, we have discussed about this, the uses and applications of computer. In the workplace, employees use computer to create correspondence such as email messages, memos, and letters, manages calendars, calculate payroll, track inventory, and generate invoices. At a school, teachers uses computer to assist with classroom instruction. Suppose I am using the appliance of computer actually. I am using a desktop and a smartphone to communicate with you for these classes. Students use computer to complete assignments and research work. People also spend hours of leisure time using a computer. They play games, communicate with friends and relatives online, and using email, purchase goods on online, converse in chat rooms, listen to music and radio broadcast, watch or create videos or movies, read books, magazines, share stories, research genealogy, retouch photos, and plan vacations. At work, at school, and at home, computers are helping people do their work faster, more accurately, and in some cases in ways that previously would not have been possible. So this is very important for us, and we cannot do any for a single moment without this device. So what is computer? A computer is an electronic device operating under the control of instructions stored in its own memory that can accept data. Data means what? Input. Then you have to process the data according to the specified rules. That means input and processing, and produce results. Result means what? Output. So the main function of a computer is what? Input, processing, and output. And we have to store the results, that means storage, okay, for the future use. Generally, the term is used to describe a collection of electronic and mechanical components known as hardware. Hardware means dead body. Okay, I have discussed in earlier classes what is hardware. Hardware is the dead body. So from the figure, from the below of the figure, shows some common hardware components. These components are discussed in more depth later in this chapter. Actually, this is the printer, this is the output device, and optical disk drive. This is the actually CPU, unit system unit, okay? Central processing unit or CPU. Also optical disk drive. This is the disk, and hard disk drive. This is the hard disk drive, storage device, and this is the main memory. And big screen, this screen is called actually monitor, and this is also output device. And this is the webcam, input device, and this is the speaker also output device. And this is the keyboard, we have to input data with the keyboard. This is why input device. And mouse also, we have to give instruction to process the data. This is why this is also input device. So this is the actually and this is also a scanner. This is also input device. We have to input data with the scanner. And this is the USB flash drive, pen drive, you must know. This is the pen drive, and this is the storage device. We have to store data or carry data with this device. And this is the microphone also, I am using a microphone to communicate with you, and this to process that I am instruct. This is also input device. Okay. And card reader or writer, this is also a storage device. And memory card, we have to use different kinds of memory card in mobile, in computer, etc. So this is the memory card everybody uses. This is also a storage device. And external hard disk, this is the external hard disk. If the main hard disk of the computer is very full, is full, then we have to use external hard disk to store more data. Okay. So this is also a storage device. And this is the modem, we have to communication device. This is the communication device. And this modem we have to use to communicate with others. That means if for internet purpose, we have to use this modem. So all these devices here, all are what? Hardware. All are hardware. Okay. Now data processing. The activity of processing data using a computer is called data processing. So for the data processing, we have to use first of all the data. We have to input data and capture data, then manipulate data. Then this data will result as output. That means output results. Then we get the information. So actually, we have to input, processing, and output for the data. So data is a raw material used as input, and information is processed data obtained as output of data processing. Okay. So now characteristics of computers. Okay. So what's the actually characteristics of computer? First of all, the main characteristics, the automatic. Given a job, computer can work on it automatically without human interventions. That means then if you give the instruction to computer, then it's automatically will be generate the commands. So second characteristics is speed. Computer can perform data processing jobs very fast. This is why we are using computer, usually measured in microsecond. That means microsecond means what? 1 lakh, 1 divided by 1 lakh. Okay. 1 divided by 1 lakh second is called microsecond. That means 10 to the power minus 6. Nanosecond 10 to the power minus 9, and picosecond 10 to the power minus 12. So accuracy, if we divide 1000, if we divide microsecond by 1000, then we can nanosecond. And if we divide the nanosecond by 1000, then we get picosecond. Remember it. Now accuracy. Accuracy is another important characteristics of computer. Accuracy of a computer is constantly high, and degree of its accuracy depends upon its design. Computer errors caused due to incorrect input data or unreliable program are often referred as garbage in, garbage out. Okay. GIGU. GIGU means what? Garbage in, garbage out. So accuracy is the main characteristics of computer. So now diligence, another important characteristics. Computer is free from monotony. That means we become tired, but computer doesn't tire. So no need to tired. So tiredness and lack of concentration, it can continuously work for hours without creating any error, without grumbling. Okay. Now versatility. Versatility is another important characteristic of computer. Computer is capable of performing almost any task. If you give any instruction in a valid way, then it will be generated. Okay. If the task can be reduced to a finite series of logical steps. Now another important characteristics, power of remembering. That means memorizing. Okay. Computer can store and recall any amount of information because of its secondary storage capability. It forgets or loses certain information only when it is asked to do. Okay. So power of remembering is very important characteristics. No IQ. Okay. A computer does only what it is programmed to do. If you give any instruction, then computer can generate, but on behalf of computer cannot generate itself. That means it cannot take its own decision in this regard. That means man is the higher thinker than computer, remember it. So no feelings. Computer has no feelings actually. We have feelings, emotions, etc. But computers are avoided of emotions. Their judgment is based on the instructions given to them in the form of programs that are written by us. If we give any instruction, then computer can do to so. But automatically computer cannot take decision or have no feelings or emotions, etc. Okay, now basic computer configuration. That means three basics kind of computer. First of all, computer divided into three parts: analog computer, digital computer, and hybrid computer. This is the three basics kind of computers. Now three basic kinds of computer. First of all, analog computer. Okay, what is the actually analog computer? The analog computers are used to process analog data. Analog data is of continuous nature and which is not discrete or separate. Okay. Such type of data includes temperature, pressure, speed, weight, voltage, depth, etc. That means this is the special features of analog computer. Now these quantities are continuous and having an infinite variety of values. But our digital computer only 1 0. Okay. Now another basic kind of computer, digital computer. A digital computer works with digits 1 0 to represent numerals, letters, or other special symbols. You must know ABC. We have to use different symbols in digital computer. And digital computer operates on inputs which are on, off. On means what? One. Off means what? Zero. Okay. On, off type, and its output is also in the form of on, off signal. That means 1 0. We have to use the digital computer use only 1 0. One for on, zero for off. Normally an on is represented by 1 and an off is represented by what? 0. So a digital computer can be used to process numeric as well as non-numeric data. Numeric as well as non-numeric data. So this is the special feature of digital computer. Now another one is hybrid. Hybrid you must know the word hybrid is the combination. So hybrid is a combination of digital and analog computer mixed. We are the hybrid nation. Remember it. You must know Bengali are the hybrid nations because combination of black and white. Okay. A hybrid is a combination of digital and analog computers. It combines the best features of both types of computers. That is, it has the speed of analog computer as well as the memory and accuracy of digital computer. And another features is hybrid computers are used to mainly in specialized applications. where both kinds of data need to be processed. Therefore, they help the users to process both continuous and discrete data. There are two types of data used. One is continuous data, another is discrete data. But remember it, continuous data is used in analog computer, but discrete data used in what? Digital computer. Remember it. In digital computer, discrete data; in hybrid, continuous. Sorry, in analog, continuous. So in hybrid, what will be? Combination of continuous data and discrete data. So a great mathematician, a British mathematician, Charles Babbage, is considered to be the father of modern digital computer. And he designed the difference engine in 1822. Okay, he designed a fully automatic analytical engine in 1842 for performing basic arithmetic functions. Actually, the purpose of this machine, of this engine, is to perform arithmetic function, just arithmetic function. His efforts established a number of principles that are fundamental to be designed of any digital computers. That means his engines is the main purpose of his engine is to give the efforts to establish a number of principles that are used fundamental concepts and to design the any digital computer. So some well-known early computers, first of all, Mark I computer. This is the very first computer, 1937 to 44. This is the Mark I computer. Okay. The second one is Atanasoff Berry computer in 1939 to 42. The ENIAC 1943 to 46. The EDBAC 1946 to 52. The EDSAC EDSSE 1947 to 49. The Manchester Mark I 1948. The Univac one 1951. This is the actually first first historical computer, the Univac one in 1951. So the computer generations, the generations are divided into different parts. So the generation in computer talk in a step or in technology this is actually a step. The generation is a step in technology. It provides a framework for the growth of computer industry. Originally, it was used to distinguish between various hardware technologies, but now it has been extended to include both hardware and software. Till today, there are 5 computer generations. So how many generations are here? Actually, 5 generations.
5 generations, sir.
Computer generations. This is the this is the 5th generation period, and key hardware technologies, key software technologies, key characteristics, some representative systems. So the computer generations, this is the first generation, and this is the second generation, and this is the third generations, and this is the fourth generations. Okay, and this is the 5th generations. That means 1989 to present. So this is very important for you. So first of all, first generations. First generation start from where? 1942 to 1955. The key hardware technologies. The main technology was for the first generation, vacuum tubes. They use only vacuum tubes and electromagnetic relay memory. They use electromagnetic relay memory, punched cards, secondary storage. Secondary storage, they use it. So this is the 3 key feature for first generation computer. Now, key software technologies. Which software they use? Actually, machine and assembly. They use very weak language, stored program concept, mostly scientific applications. Actually, the main purpose for using this software for this first generation. Now key characteristics: bulk in size. This was big computer. That means look like a room, look like a building, a small building. So this was this. So this was bulky in size. Okay, first generation computer was bulky in size, highly unreliable. That means they give wrong results, not reliable results. Okay, limited commercial use and costly. This was very costly actually.
Shivabodha, sir.
Yes, and it has many limited commercial use, very limited commercial use. Okay, difficult commercial production. To you after using this to produce profit, very difficult, because difficult in commercial production, and difficult to use also, because men are not adept in to use these types of computer. This is why very difficult to use. Now some of representative systems. This is the example of first generation computer: ENIAC, EDBAC, EDSAC, UNIVAC 1, IBM 701. Okay. So the second generation of computer start from 1955 to 1964. The transistors, the key hardware technologies are transistors and the magnetic core memories, magnetic taps, disk for secondary storage. They have to use disk for secondary storage. That means this is the very updated compared to first generation. Now key software technologies was batch operating system, high level programming language. That means they're low level language. Okay, but here they use high level programming language and scientific and commercial applications. So mostly in first generation, mostly scientific application, but in second generation, the commercial applications, they have used commercial applications. So key characteristics was faster, smaller, more reliable, and easier to program than previous generation. Previous generation is this. So compared to this, the second generation computer was very faster, smaller, and more reliable and easier to program than previous generation systems. Now commercial production was still difficult and costly, look like first generation computer. So some most important example representative system: Honeywell 400, IBM 7030, CDC 1604, UNIVAC LRC. So this is the key feature of second generation. Now another one, third generation. Third generation start from 1964 to 1975. ICs with SSI and MSI technologies. This is actually very updated technology compared to first generation and second generation. Okay, IC integrated circuit. This means IC's integrated circuit was developed. SSI and MSI technologies, larger magnetic cores memory. In previous only core memory, but here larger magnetic. Remember it. So larger capacities and magnetic taps, secondary storage was added. Mini computers upward compatibility family of computers. Okay. Now key software was used: time sharing operating system. This is very updated compared to first generation and second generation. Standardization of high level programming language and unbundling of software from hardware. Now another key characteristics: this was very faster, smaller, more reliable, easier and cheaper to produce, commercially easier to use, and easier to upgrade than previous generation systems, scientific, commercial, and interactive online application. This is the these three is the last feature for the third generation. Okay, so scientific and commercial use also updated in third generation. Then some representative system: IBM 360 or 370, PDP 8, PDP 11, CDC 6600. So this is the main features of third generation. Similarly, for fourth generation, the fourth generation start from 1975 to 1989. That means after discovering microprocessor. Remember it. Microprocessor was invented on in 1974 maybe. So for the fourth generation, ICs with BLSI technology. This is the new technology which was introduced in recently before 1989. So microprocessor added. So the speed of computer increases. And larger capacity hard disk as in built secondary language, secondary storage. Larger capacity hard disk. Okay. Magnetic tabs, floppy disk. I have talked with you. Floppy disk is as a portable storage media. I have used in 19 in 2004 or 5. I have to use floppy disk. Then on that time there was no CD or DVD, etc. This is why I have to use floppy disk for computer. So personal computers in everywhere used personal computers is the main features or key hardware technology for the fourth generation. So supercomputer based on parallel vector processing and symmetric multiprocessing technologies. Speed of high speed computer networks. That means the speed of computer increases. So this is the main key hardware technologies. Now key software technology, what was for the fourth generation? Operating system for PCs with GUI and multiple windows on single terminal screen. That means we can communicate for network to develop the networking system. We can multiple windows. We can use multiple windows and multiprocessing operating system. OS means operating system with concurrent programming language. We can use as a software microprocessing operating system. The Unix operating system also with C programming language. This is the special key software technologies for fourth generation. Now objective oriented design and programming, PC network based and supercomputer also applications. Small, affordable, reliable and easy to use, more powerful and reliable maintain, and this is the key characteristics. And this is the example: IBM PC and its clones, Apple II, TRS-80, BX 9000, CRE 1, CRE 2, CRE X or MP, etc. This is the examples of fourth generation computer. And now at last, this is the fifth generation. This is very updated generation and start from 1989 to present. This is the key features and this is the key technology now we are using and key characteristics we are using here. And this is the very updated computer we are using the worldwide. IBM notebook, Pentium PCs, Sun workstation, IBM SP2, SGI Origin 2000, Param 1, Param 10,000. So that is the key feature and this is the key technologies, software technologies.